What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. Here today with my top 20 free plugins for 2025. This video is going to be a little bit different though. I'm not trying to copy all the plugins that I did last year, so I will link that video below, and there is a bunch of fire free plugins in there. I just took my top 5 from that list, and then I got 15 new plugins that started this year. Some I'll go in a little more thorough on the demonstration. Some I might just talk about because I've talked about them a bunch on this channel. So make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button before we get going. And let's get right into this thing. So the first freebie I have for you guys is from Native Instruments. It's Complete Start. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. So I'm not going to pull this up because I've talked about Complete, Contact, all this stuff a ton of times, right? But with this Complete Start package, you're going to get a bunch of freebies in here. So you're going to get Contact 7, which has the new tools like the chord tools. It's got the leap tool, all that other stuff in there. But you're going to get a bunch of freebies to go with it, along with it as well. So as you see, you're going to get the leap sampler. You're going to get lo-fi vibes for leap. You're going to get acoustic drums for leap. So those are expansion packs. You're going to get Analog Dreams. You're going to get Haifa. You're going to get Ethereal Earth. You're going to get Jacob Collier, Audience Choir, Irish Harp, Yin Quinn is Fire. And then you're going to get the Factory Selection 2. And then you're also going to get some effects. But you're going to get these chord tools and these phrases tools. These come in Contact, the free 8-player. But here are some effects that you're going to get too as well. So you're going to get this Isotope Ozone EQ, probably the best free EQ out there. You got ROM, Solid 2, really nice reverb. Trash Light Solid, Supercharger Replica, Guitar Rig 7-player is insane. And then you get Isotope Vinyl with this too as well. So that's the first freebie I have for you guys today. Definitely fire. I recommend everybody go grab Complete Start because you get a whole bunch with it. The second freebie I have for you guys today, I've talked about a bunch on this channel too as well. It is Vital. So Vital is Vital is the dopest free synthesizer out there. It's like a spectral warping wavetable synth, and it's fire. You can basically customize everything. You can send LFOs wherever you want to in this plugin. You can basically link anything everywhere. And there's so many free packs for this. When you come down here to get it, because a lot of times when I put these videos out, everybody says, it's not free, it's not free. Well, you have to come to the basic one and download this one. And then boom, once you come in here, it's going to let you get that free one, which has 75 presets, 25 wavetables. But again, there is so much free stuff on this online. All right, guys. And the third freebie that I have for you guys today is another synthesizer. This one is Fire 2. It is Zebralette 3. It's still in beta, but you can download this thing. It's pretty solid. It's only got one oscillator, but you can do so much with this. It's got so many things that you can do. You got effects down here. I would recommend watching Dash Glitch's channel, friend of the channel, my guy. He's done so many in-depth reviews on this thing. I'm just going to go ahead and play this little loop I have so you guys can kind of hear what it sounds like. All right, so with this, all of the melodic sounds and the bass that I use all came from Zebralette. So as we take a look here at this, I'm going to go ahead and mute everything but Zebralette. And these are some of the sounds I got from this thing. So, I mean, the thing's got solid sounds. You got a lot of control. It gets really in-depth, really detailed once you start digging in this synthesizer. Again, go check out Dash Glitch and he will hook you up with how to use this thing perfectly. All right, guys. And the fourth freebie that I have for you guys today is a drum machine, and it is called Triaz Player. When you open up Triaz Player, it is going to look like this. This thing is basically a sequencer where you can sequence all kinds of drum rhythms and everything together. It's got like a bunch of different presets in here, and you can play the drums individually. You know what I'm saying? So you got all the individual sounds of the drums. This was kind of the rhythm that I used. You know what I'm saying? So that sounded pretty good. And then I threw that in here with all that Zebralette stuff, and I kind of got a good little groove with this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like this with the Zebralette. So that's pretty fire. With this thing too as well, you're going to get a bunch of different presets in here. So you'll be able to go through different grooves and stuff like that, because you'll see here it's got all these different grooves in here. And then you got like different groups that you could break down with, whether it's hip hop. Granted, my BPM is 120, so it's gonna be a little faster, but I got house stuff here too. But you got everything you need to get going with this. Very fire drum machine. Probably the one I would recommend as far as like electronic drums or drums for hip hop, house, all that other stuff. Go grab this thing. All right, guys, the 5th free plugin that I have for you guys today, I've talked about this a lot this year too as well. It is Vaults by Crowhill. So when you open up Vaults, it's gonna look like this. Basically, they drop a new sound in here, maybe once a month or every few weeks or stuff like that. So you've got pianos, you've got mallets, you've got drums, you've got all kinds of stuff. I only have one of the libraries downloaded on my MacBook because I normally use this on my PC. But this thing is pretty solid. It sounds like the choir obviously sounds pretty good. You've got stuff you can control like distance and timbre. So let's go ahead and hold down a chord real quick. You've got control over modulation and stuff like that. You got echo. And then more reverb. So that's pretty solid right there. Again, there is a bunch of different libraries for this. I recommend getting on it though, because I believe after 6 months or a year, they get rid of old libraries. So once you have it, you got it though. They won't delete it out of your library, but get them when you can so that later on you're not missing one of these libraries, especially that piano. The first one they dropped was fire because it had the reverse and everything on there. All right, guys, and the 6th freebie that I have for you guys today, this one comes from IK Multimedia. It looks like they are giving away T-Rack 6, the intro. So this right here is going to give you this classic compressor. It's going to give you this classic equalizer, and it's going to give you this Master Match X Lite. This is pretty cool because you can drop in a track and it'll reference that track and it'll allow you to mix your track similar to whatever track that you are referencing. So it's not going to mix it for you perfectly, but it will allow you to match like different curves and stuff like that. So you can get your mix sounding more like whatever it is that you're referencing. So very solid 3 plugins. This compressor is dope. This EQ is dope. And so is this Master Max X. So, you know, go grab it. All right, guys. And the 7th freebie that I have for you guys today comes from Wevia. It's called Flite. When you open up Flite, Flite's going to look like this. It is basically a rompler that a very, very solid sound designer did. So it's a bunch of his best sounds that he's had over time. And he put all those into this rompler. So this thing sounds phenomenal. There's a full version, and then there is also this version right here. So when you're looking at this version, you're only going to get control over things right here on the hood. But in the full version, you get more control over underneath the hood. You also got a sequencer up here too. So I did make another loop with this one, and all the melodic sounds from this melody or this little loop are from Flite. All right, so all those sounds, well, most of those sounds all came from Flite. So these all came from Flite right here. So you can hear you're gonna get all kinds of different sounds. You're gonna be able to make whatever you want with this because I've got many different genres of sounds that I'm using to create this beat. So this is a very solid plugin right here. I would definitely recommend grabbing this one. All right, guys, and the 8th freebie that I have for you guys today, I've talked about this in the past. I'll talk about this in every single freebie list that I make that are the best ones. This is one that was on last year's list, and it is called Modo Drum CS by IK Multimedia. When you open up Modo Drum, it's gonna look like this. This thing's cool because it's just basically realistic sounding drums. So the drums sound like this. You're only gonna get one drum model, but you can customize a lot of stuff on this. So you can customize, you know, your snare heads and stuff like that. You can customize your play style, your sticks, your tips, pause. You know what I'm saying? The room that your stuff is in. You've got a mixer over here that you've got different effects on that you can control. You've got different grooves that you can build. So like different grooves, like, you know, that they already have for you. You know what I'm saying? So you got stuff like that too. And then you have your mapping over here. Just a very solid plugin. Again, this thing, you know, with that beat, it sounded like. So, you know what I'm saying? Those drums definitely, you know what I'm saying, made that beat better. All right, guys. And the 9th freebie that I have for you guys today comes from Dawsome. This one is called Zyklop. Zyklop basically does resynthesis for you. So this thing's pretty solid. You can drop a sample in here and it'll do some resynthesis for you. Comes with a bunch of different presets here as well. I just use this bass and the beat. You got all kinds of different controls here. So as you see here, if you look at the bottom, it'll tell you different stuff. So it's like the playback in this iris. This one applies frequency to modulation. This one changes the harmonic ratio, so on and so forth. So I can easily get a good sound or change my sound up. So you see how easily I can change up and get the sound that I want. Let's just go ahead and go to another preset real quick. What I can also do is, you see this piano I have right here? Now I could take this and drop this in the Zyklop, and you can do whichever resynthesis engine that you want. So boom, it just resynthesized it for me. And now that same piano sounds like. And then you can start tweaking that. And you can really start doing whatever you want. All right, guys, and the 10th free plugin that I have for you guys today, this one comes from Out Boogie, and it's called Refire. This one I couldn't pull up for you guys because it is PC only, but I did do a review on this, or I talked about it on the news way back some months ago. This thing is basically a free version of Knock by Decap. So you have different things like bang, heat, pause, sub, detail, and clamp, and it just does the similar things, you know? So I'm just gonna kind of let you hear what I did in this video, and then we'll go on. Slide to those drums. So I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm gonna turn it on while it's playing so you guys can hear it again. So it sounds pretty solid in my opinion. So it is solid, you know what I'm saying? Again, it is for parallel processing on drums. So you'll see here, I have Refire on track 15, and track 15 is all my drums going into that. So very solid if you're looking for a free substitute for Knock by Decap. All right, guys, and the 11th free plugin that I have for you guys today comes from Arturia. It's called Analog Lab Play. So this thing has about 100 presets in it. Obviously, I have the full version, but for the demo, I only use sounds that were in the play. So I went to the website and just grabbed the first 3 sounds. That's how you know this plugin's pretty solid, because I just took the first 3 sounds I listened to and I made this melody right here. So I definitely recommend that one. Again, these were the sounds that I used from Analog Labs. So very solid. The rest of these I'm gonna try to go through pretty quick because I've already been recording for about 35 minutes. I don't know how I'm gonna get this video down to 25 minutes. So I'm gonna try to run through these next ones pretty quick. All right, guys, so 11, 12, and 13 all come from the same company called Spectral. So when we take a look here, Spectral dropped some free plugins. I covered these earlier this year. This OCS 45 is fire. It's a cassette simulator. This Pancz is nice. It's good for parallel processing on your drums. And Spacer is like a reverb and a delay plugin with a bunch of different functions that you can use. So let's go ahead and check those out real quick. We're gonna go ahead and hop back into FL Studio. So I'm just gonna let you guys hear kind of what this OCS 45 can do. So I have this piano right here. All right, so I just have some chords down there. Now you can hear the static right away. Now listen. Bunch of different presets in here for you too to mess with. And as you see here, this thing has different cassette types that you can run through too. It's got your wow, rate and depth over here, and you've got different noises and flutter right here. And what's nice is you can have the imperfections of dropouts come right here, so that's nice too as well. And you've got distortion down here. Just a very good tape plugin in my opinion, because you do got the different distortion, downsampling, dropouts, different cassette types, noise types. You just got a lot going on over here. Very solid plugin. The next plugin that they created, I guess number 12, we'll go right here to this Pancz. I think this is pretty solid too, because it is a something you use for parallel processing, so you can get your drums to smack a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and pull Pancz up real quick. And let's go ahead and bypass it real quick, and then I'm going to turn it on. You're going to hear what the difference it does in the drums. Pretty nice processor. Let me go ahead and turn this off real quick. Pretty nice processor here. Again, with this thing, you get control over things like you can add air, presence. You've got New York compression right here. You've got a soft clipper. You've got multi-mode right here, or single. You can control the transients and the tail here. So let's go ahead and listen to what some of this sounds like. So as you can see there, you can get your drums to thump really easily, really quickly with this thing. And it's got the clipper and everything, which will control those drums for you. Very solid. The last plugin we're going to talk about here from them is this spacer. So spacer is basically like a reverb and a delay. Let's go ahead and pull this bad boy up. So as you see here, you've got different modules that you can mess with. Like you see here, you've got grain delay, regular delay, just different stuff. You've got different presets. You've got roll the dice. So let's go ahead. This is what this sound sounded like without spacer on there. Now, once I threw spacer on there, I got it to sound like this. But you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this. You know, let's hit the roll the dice. You know what I'm saying? We could roll the dice again. But you can just do some creative stuff with this. Again, there's a whole bunch of different presets in here. All right, guys, and the 15th freebie that I have for you guys today comes from Melda Productions. It's called MDelay. When you open up MDelay, it is going to look like this. This is basically a two-stage delay. So you have two different delays here working together, and you can get some crazy delays with this. So this is that same sound, what it sounded like before I put this MDelay on there. Now let's go ahead and bypass it. So why that's dope is because I have two different delays going. You can pan each one to the right or to the left. You can control the feedback, the gain, and then underneath here, you can start controlling the sync. So you can control, like, you know, how fast it moves. So let's go ahead and mess with this. Actually, what I'm gonna do is turn this off first so you can hear what each level, which each stage is doing. All right, so now if we enable this one, turn this one on. So you can hear the two working together. Let's go ahead and change the length of this one. So you can do some cool stuff with this. You've got triplets, you've got dotted, you've got all that stuff. You've got different kinds of delays here. Classic, default, and ping pong. And then you just have a bunch of different, you know, presets you can go through down here. Let's go ahead and hit this chaos. Go ahead and check that thing out. All right, guys, and the 16th freebie that I have for you guys today is for people who are messing with vocals. This one's called Vocal Menace. And when you open up Vocal Menace, it is going to look like this. This thing has simple controls that you can use to help with your vocals. Would this be my go-to for vocals? No. But if I was in a pinch, or I just wanted something to sound good, or I was doing a session and wanted somebody to leave with something that sounded decent, or get a good start for my vocal mix, I'd use this. So this thing right here, I put it on a vocal. So let's go ahead and start with it off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on as the vocal's playing. You'll hear what it does.
Check. Yo, I'm disturbed when serving these sermons of higher learning. Tied to Krypton, Michael Irvin, rearranging your turban. The thoughts reversing, dispersing if you considering battling. I'm tossing javelins at abdomen to stop you traveling. Who's this challenging?
So it'll add a little bit to it. You know what I'm saying? It'll give you some girth, pause, sheen, cup, wash, all that other stuff. So what I did with this is I basically took it and I threw it on 3 different channels. So I've used it as I would use my vocal processing anyway. So you see here on one of the inserts that the vocals go into, I have the reverb and the delay. And then on the last one, I just kind of have like this sheen up to give it some high-end sheen. So I'll let you hear what it's doing in all 3 different stages of that. This verse is like 24 years old, so I don't want to hear nobody talking smack about this verse. This verse is older than some of my subscribers. But I wanted to give you guys a vocal performance on here so you can hear it. So again, this is what the vocal sounded like without Vocal Menace on there. Let's just go ahead and highlight this section real quick.
Disturbed when serving these sermons of higher learning. Tied to Krypton, Michael Irvin, rearranging your turban. The thoughts reversing, dispersing if you considering battling. I'm tossing javelins at abdomen to stop you traveling. Who's next challenging? Dismantling damage and spreading pathogens. With rap skin crashing in your mental cabinet. A lab accident, dropping shit like laxative. Fuck the past, miss blasphemous rap tactics with no mathematics. Like.
So I went through all 3 different stages. I know I probably didn't do a good job showing that, but again, I'm at about 50 minutes on this recording. So you can see you can use it to process your vocals like you would regular vocals. One thing that I have to make sure I mention to you guys is you're going to wonder when you first get in here, this is going to be up like this. And it's going to make everything sound distorted because this is distortion right here in the middle.
Disturbed when serving these sermons of higher learning. Tied to Krypton, Michael Irvin, rearranging your turban. The thoughts reversing, dispersing if you considering battling. I'm tossing javelins at abdomen to stop you.
So we just want to pull that back because if we're going to use this on more than one track, it's going to have that distortion on each one of those. So make sure you pull that back before you get going. All right, guys. And the 17th freebie that I have for you guys today is something that was on last year's list too. I'm just going to go over it real quick. It's called Fresh Air. And when you open up Fresh Air, it's going to look like this. This thing is fire for vocals or tracks because this just adds a little bit of mid frequency air and a little bit of high air. So I'm going to let you guys hear what this sounds like. I'm going to turn it up. For some of you guys, you may not hear a big difference, but I'm telling y'all, when you are mixing your tracks and everything and you wonder why your vocal's not popping or your instrument's not popping, this could be the tool that's going to get it to pop for you.
Disturbed when serving these sermons of higher learning. Tied to Krypton, Michael Irvin, rearranging your turban. The thoughts reversing, dispersing if you considering battling. I'm tossing javelins at abdomen to stop you traveling. Who's next challenging? Dismantling damage and spreading pathogens. With rap skin crashing in your mental cabinet. A lab accident, dropping shit like laxative. Fuck the past, miss black.
Just a good tool. It's something that's more noticeable. I mean, if you have on headphones, you can definitely hear it. Once you get up to too far, you don't really want to get this thing above 22 on either one of these. And then that's where you kind of want to freak it and pause and kind of get it to sound the way that you want. All right, guys. And the 18th freebie that I have for you guys today, this one comes from Auburn Sounds. I know many of you guys know about Graillon, but they updated Graillon to Graillon version 3 this year. So when you look at version 3, it's going to have more stuff in there that you can use. You can pitch shift, you can format. It's got correction over here. Obviously, this is for auto tune. You've got compression, you've got a gate, you've got quantize, you've got reduction right here. You got your pitch engine. It just comes with a lot now. So this is definitely one I would recommend using because, again, the features of this thing are pitch shifting, format shifting, pitch correction, 3-pitch engines. You've got Graillon 2 Sound 2 that you can mess with. But you know, it's free auto-tune. I don't do auto-tune, so I couldn't give you guys, I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to give you guys a demo, but definitely a fire plugin. All right, guys, and the 19th freebie that I have for you guys today is a collaborative effort between UVI and Venus Theory. It's called Noctua. So for whatever reason, it's not, I'm having an issue getting this in my computer, but I think I changed my library and I don't know where I downloaded it at. So I have it, but when I demoed this, I did it on my PC. So, but I have used this before, very solid. It's good for like cinematic stuff, you know, and creating like dramatic sounds. So thing sounds like this. And hop on back into FL Studio and check this thing out. So when you look at Noctua, it is going to look like this. You're going to get different controls over here. You're going to get 2 different layers in each one of the presets. Plus you're going to get a sub layer as well. You have filter, you have tremolo controls. You also have like, so as you see there, you get a bunch of controls, but let me let you guys kind of hear what it sounds like. So again, this is going to build like a lot of tension and stuff like that in the music that you're creating. What I like a lot about this plugin is a lot of these sequences. I think these sequences are pretty dope because you can just hold down a button. And that's just me holding down one button, which is pretty solid. You hold down 3 of them on this sequence. So just a fire plugin, another one that I would recommend you go in to grab. All right, guys, and the last freebie that I have for you guys today is definitely one of the best. It's for the free Halion Sonic 7 player, and it's called Extreme. Extreme, you may be wondering, what is it? Well, it's basically a free spectral synthesizer. It transforms your sample into a colorful spectrum of sounds, stretch the playback of the samples, loops, and even hold tracks to extreme lengths. So this thing's pretty dope. It's really good for like cinematic stuff too as well. When you open it up in this Halion 7 player, it is going to look like this. Here's what some of the presets sound like. But as you see here, you can mess with the spread. You can mess with the blur time. The blur depth. I need y'all to understand this is all the same preset. I haven't changed nothing. So, I mean, you could do a lot really quick with this thing. Here's a different preset. You can mess with the stack on this. Let's go ahead and check out a couple more. And then you can also drop your own samples in this thing as well. This thing is fire. I can't believe more people don't talk about this. Extreme is pretty dope. So I guess that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully I could help you guys out with my top 20 free plugins for 2025. Make sure if you guys do like the content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the keys.